What's good, YouTube? It is your boy, Big Cool, coming to you from Colossal Sports TV. And I am back with another video. Today's video, I will be discussing former undisputed junior welterweight champion Josh Taylor's welterweight dilemma. As y'all can see by the thumbnail, I didn't include the big two in the welterweight division. My reason is obvious. Those two are officially locked and loaded, focused in on each other. Errol Spence, unified champion. Terrence Crawford, WBO champion. They are colliding for all the belts on July 29th in Las Vegas. So, for right now, they do not include in this discussion. Another name that y'all might be wondering, hey, Big Cool, why you didn't include Keith Thurman? Hey, man, that guy, in my opinion, is retired. You know what I'm saying? He's retired. He's going to be an analyst, a trainer, whatever he's going to do. Many blessings to him. But let's talk about it. We all witnessed that Teofimo Lopez thoroughly dominated Josh Taylor to snatch his WBO in lineal 140-pound title, last night. And to me, that was a shock. To me, again, I reiterate it wasn't a shock to me because I believe that Teofimo Lopez has elite level skills. When his mind is right, he can be a problem and beat a lot of the top guys from 135 to 140. But for fans of Josh Taylor who said, you know what? Hey, he overstayed his welcome at 140. It's time to move up, attempt to become a two-division world champion. And for fans that feel like that's a very plausible thing to do, just pump the brakes a little bit. Because in my opinion, he's not beating Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. Now, let's go to where the dilemma lies. While no belt is currently free, soon that will not be the case after Spence and Crawford, go through the gauntlet of each other at least twice, and eventually move up to 154. But the four guys you see in the thumbnail, the four guys I'm going to talk about, are guys that I feel will give Taylor problems. Now, I'm not saying he can't beat any of these four guys, but I know from what I've seen against Jack Catterall, even Victor Postal a few years ago, and last night with Teofimo Lopez, and can't forget Regis Prograis, he will have major issues at 147. He's 32 years old. Yes, he's like 5'11". He has power. He has good boxing skills. He's very tough. He seems to have a very durable chin. But the thing that he will lose when he moves up to 147 is the size advantage. And if you look at it, that size advantage did not matter whatsoever last night against Teofimo Lopez. If you look at the two guys in the ring last night, Taylor looked much bigger than Teofimo. He landed some hard shots that didn't even budge Teofimo. But on the other hand, Teofimo landed a lot of hard punishing blows that rocked and staggered Josh Taylor multiple times throughout the course of their fight. So, when you look at it, say if he was going to fight Amantis Staniotis, the guy is undefeated. I think he's the WBA interim champion. He's set to face Virgil Ortiz, another guy I'm going to mention in this video. He's not an electrifying boxer. He's not a one-punch knockout artist, but he's a grinder. He has a solid jab. From what I can tell, he has a solid chin. He's very tough. And he's like a workman-like type fighter. He's a grinder. He's going to punish you to the body, to the head. He doesn't have great head movement. So if him and Taylor were to ever fight, Taylor would definitely have his opportunities to land some hard punishing blows. But be as it may, he's going to be going up against guys who are naturally bigger than him. All four of these gentlemen I mentioned are bigger than him. Now you can say, well, what about Ugas? Okay, but Ugas has been fighting at 147 for the longest. So, back to Stanionis. Stanionis is a workmanlike fighter. He takes his lunch pail and he just goes to work. He doesn't complain. And that type of fighter could give Taylor problems, but Taylor could also make a much easier fight if he could use his jab, stay on the outside, counter him, go to the body, which he is very good at because he landed some terrific body shots on Teofimo Lopez last night. But with the youth, the natural size advantage, just being a fresher fighter, that is a very dangerous fight for Josh Taylor. All right, let's go to the next one. Yordenis Ugas. Ugas, the former WBA welterweight champion, has been in the ring with Errol Spence, a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, run down his resume. It's a solid resume. He's a guy who is not a big puncher, but he's an effective puncher. He has good boxing skills, very good technique, and he's tough. Although he was beaten down and stopped by Errol Spence, he buzzed Errol Spence in that fight, And him and Josh Taylor will be a terrific fight. Both guys, like I said, are capable of boxing. Josh Taylor is a good counterpuncher. Ugas is a good counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? Taylor, in my opinion, I think would have the slight height advantage and maybe the reach advantage. But Ugas being that Cuban, he comes from that Cuban background, that foundation. They're very technically sound, fundamentally sound. And he's been in with a lot of guys. Sean Porter probably should have beat him for that WBC title. So he's experienced against the elite level guys at 147. If I'm not mistaken, he may have fought Terrence Crawford as well. Let me know in the comment section down below because my memory is drawing a blank on that. But I'm thinking he did fight Terrence Crawford as well. So that fight is a winnable fight for Taylor. The Stanionis fight is a winnable fight for Taylor. Now, let's go to Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is one hell of a contender. He's undefeated. He stopped every opponent thus far in his career. He's like 23, 24 years old. He has huge power in both hands. But he's not a great defensive fighter either. You know what I'm saying? He was hurt by the guy that dropped Terrence Crawford but wasn't credited for the Green Machine. I can't think of his name. In their fight, even though he dropped him like 6 times, Ortiz was hurt in that fight. He's very susceptible to combinations. He's very susceptible to big shots. You know what I'm saying? But the guy keeps coming and coming and coming, and doesn't let up. His chin, while he has been hurt, he's shown to be able to recover. He's getting better as a fighter. He's an offensive juggernaut. He's a very dangerous fight for Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? And while he may be more physically imposing, the experience of Josh Taylor could swing things into his favor because he's fought the likes of Regis Prograis, Teofimo Lopez, Victor Postal, Ivan Barnachek, Jack Catterall, so he's experienced, you know what I'm saying? But Virgil Ortiz, I wouldn't put money on Josh Taylor, you know what I'm saying? Just these guys are young, powerful, skillful, aggressive fighters. And last but not least, Jaron Boots Ennis, probably the best 147-pound contender. I know people flip between him and Ortiz, and whoever you got in that order, that's your opinion. But if you think Ortiz is a difficult fight for Josh Taylor, then you might want to just jump that up when it comes to Ennis. Ennis is a guy that can box, he can bang, he can switch from orthodox to southpaw. He's very athletic, he's fast, he's very powerful, and he's getting better and better. While he hasn't yet to face the competition that we would like for him to see, his time is coming. And I don't think that Josh Taylor would fare well at all against Jaron Ennis. I think that it's just too much athletic ability, too much versatility, and to go along with him being a much bigger man. And Jaron Ennis, really a quiet guy. When he's in the ring, he's a bully. He's a pit bull. He's not trying to, take it easy on you. He can break you down systematically, or he can get you out of there early. You know what I'm saying? And these 4 guys, man, it's a welterweight dilemma before Josh Taylor. He just at 32 years old, he looked like he may have lost a step, but he's going to continue on, and it's probably good for him to move to 147 just for his body's sake, where he doesn't have to cut so much weight, kill himself to make 140. But his prospects of being a 2-division world champion, in my opinion, don't look good. Look very bleak. You know what I'm saying? But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Because there's other welterweight contenders. I just named the top 4 that I feel are very, very, very dangerous for him. You know what I'm saying? I would give him a better chance against Ugas and Stanionis than I would against Ortiz and Ennis, just because Ugas is older as well. He's been through some fights. He has an extensive amateur background, career. And then he's been fighting for a while as a pro. And Stanionis, I really like him as a fighter. I just think that, he's more susceptible than Ortiz or Ennis, in my opinion. But we've seen where these we think surefire future world champions and Hall of Famers get in the fight and end up losing or not looking as good as we thought they would be. But those are my thoughts, man. What do y'all think? Do y'all think he can beat any of these 4 guys I mentioned? Also, drop a name or 2 that I didn't mention that you think how a matchup between Taylor and those fighters would fare. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment in the comment section below. Turn those notifications on to be notified every time I upload content. Until next time, I am out. Peace.